Good morning, students. Welcome back to technologies class. So the last class already I've explained what is a CSS file, what is the use of the CSS file, and how to include CSS code in HTML document. That part we are already completed in the last class. Okay. So what is the use of the CSS file? CSS file is used to give a presentation information to a HTML tag. Okay, so this file contains a complete styles information of HTML tags. Okay, so using the CSS file, you can separate content from a presentation. Means in a CSS file, we'll give the styles, and in HTML file, we'll give the tags. Okay, so it will be easy for the user, those who want to access only the text and those who want to access only the styles. Say example, if you want to change the background colors and font size and all, you don't need to open the HTML file. If you open only CSS file and if you make the modification, and that will be applicable to all the documents, you don't need to open the HTML files. But if you want to change the content, any content, then you don't need to open the presentations. Okay, you don't need to open the CSS file. Just if you will open a HTML file, it is enough. There you can make the modifications. Okay, so that part already I have completed. Few advantages also I have explained, and in the practical part I have executed one example program also. Okay, now in today's class, how to declare a CSS code, how to give a styles to a HTML tag using a CSS, and what are the CSS file, where to save, where to write the source code, and that we'll discuss today. Okay, so here started you can see how to create a cascading style sheet. So like a CSS is like a HTML file. If you want to create a CSS file, just you open the notepad. Notepad is a text editor. You open the notepad, write the content, save the file. But you give the file format as .css. In case of HTML, we used to give the file format as .html. But in case of CSS, we'll give the file format as .css. Okay, just the same editor, same thing. Code may different, but file form. If you want to create a CSS file, you open the notepad, write the CSS content, CSS code you write. Next you go to the file menu. There you select the save option. So when it will give you the prompt to select the location and the file name, there you give the file name your wish. You can give any name. Dot CSS should be given because it is a CSS file, cascading style sheet. Okay. So as already said, style sheets are made up of styles. In the name itself you have a definition. It is a style sheet. Means this contains complete styles information. But how to give that styles? That we'll discuss now. Okay. So when you want to give a styles to HTML tags, how to give? Okay. So here a style sheet is made up of styles rules that tells a browser how to present a document. Okay. So in the style sheet we have a number of style rules, and that will inform the browser how to present the HTML tags. Okay, there are number of ways you can include that code, that styles, the number of ways you can give the style rules. Okay, that we'll discuss later. Okay, now here you see the syntax. So if you want to give a style rule is a combination of property and value. Okay, that I will explain now. If you want to give a style to any HTML element, okay, we'll give the HTML element name and what style you want to give. So to whichever element you want to give the style, that element is called as a selector. And what style you want to give, that is called as a property. Okay, see already in HTML I have explained attributes like align attributes, BG color attribute, background attributes. All those attributes are called as properties in CSS. Okay, that are nothing but the additional information, style of the text, style of the content. Similarly, here whatever styles you have given, whatever attributes you have used in HTML, no, all those attributes are called as properties in CSS. Okay, so it is very, 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 very important. Complete CSS unit depends on this only. Clear? So style rule has two parts. One is a selector and the second one is a property and value. Okay, so selector is nothing but it is a HTML element or any anonymous class to which you want to give the style. Example, if you want to give a right alignment to the paragraph, in that case paragraph is called as a selector, and whatever right alignment you are giving, no, that is called as a property. Align is a property, and what value you are assigning? Right. That right is called as a value. Okay, same whatever we used in a HTML, no, that same we are writing in CSS, that's it. But the way you are writing, that is different. Okay, so when you are writing, when you are giving styles to HTML elements using a CSS code, it is compulsory that whatever styles you are giving, all those styles should be in a braces. Okay, first you should give the selector. What is the selector? Selector is nothing but the element to which you want to give the style. And next in the braces, what style you want to give. That is nothing but the property. Okay, if it is a value, is nothing but that property receives some value, no, that you should give. So in this example, what I have given, H1 is the selector. Means I am giving a styles to H1. What style I am giving? Color I am giving. That color is called as a property. And red is nothing but the value. Okay. Now, here you see the property. Separate definitions also I have given. Property. A property is assigned to a selector. A property is assigned to a selector in order to manipulate its style. See, without any styles and all, if you give the H1 text, then how you will get the H1? You will get a bold letters you will get, and the size is big compared to the remaining H2 to H6. Okay, but if you want to change the alignment, so that alignment is called as a property. Okay, so using the property, actually what is the use of the property? Property is changing the original style of that selector. Okay, without a property also we can display content, but what is the use of that? That property will manipulates the original style of the selectors. Okay, property will manipulates the original style of the selector. Now, if you have given a H1 alignment, right? Align is a property. So in alignment we have a different values. For alignment you can give a different values. Left alignment you can give, right alignment you can give, center you can give. So whatever value you are assigning, okay, that is nothing but the value. Okay, if it is a property, it should receive some value. Okay, so that value also you should write in CSS. Property is nothing but what style you are giving. You remember that point? Selector is very, very important. To which HTML tag you are giving the style. That is a selector. What style you are giving, that is the property. Okay, and it is a condition that if you have given the property, it should receive some value. Now, come to the selector. Selectors are usually an HTML element, like a body, paragraph, H1, to which HTML element you want to modify. That HTML element is called as a HTML selector. That is called as a selector. Okay, once you see the syntax, selector, property, it's very, 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 very important. And when you are writing this code, you try to remember two things. One is this, whatever styles you are giving, that consists of two parts. One is a selector and the second one is a property and value. Okay, so selector is nothing but to which HTML element you are giving the property, and the property and value is nothing but the styles. And whatever property value should be there, no, that should be inside the braces, curly braces. Now property value should be separated by colon, and value should end with the semicolon. Okay, when you are giving any property, any style, if you are giving to HTML element, then whatever styles information is there, that should be enclosed in a braces, curly braces. And whatever style you are giving, style and the value should be separated by colon, and the value should end with the semicolon. Even if you are missing a semicolon or if you are missing a colon, that property won't be applied to your HTML. So it is a condition that when you are giving any property to any selector, then property should be separated by, so to which property you are giving, no, that property and value should be separated by colon, and value should end with the semicolon. It is very, very important, because even if you miss the colon and semicolon, you won't get that styles to your HTML elements. Okay, so these are this is the introduction part. How to write a style when you are giving any style to HTML tag. Now, in what type of selectors we have? One thing I have explained HTML selector, no? Like that, we have a number of selectors. HTML selectors. Selector itself is an essay question. Okay, so types of selector: HTML selector, class selector, ID selector, contextual selector. Okay, 4 types of selectors we have. Right, HTML selector. See, actually what is a selector? To which element you are giving a style, that is called as a selector. Right, so if you are giving a styles to any HTML element, then that is called as a HTML selector. Like if you are giving a style to like a paragraph, H1, like that. In that case, what actually to which element we are giving a selector? Sorry, to which element we are giving a property? HTML tag we are giving a property. So in that case, the selector is a HTML tag. So if you are using a HTML tag as a selector, then that is called as a HTML selectors. If you are giving any property to a HTML tags, and that type of selectors are called as HTML selectors. And it is very easy. To whichever HTML tag you want to give the property, just you give that tag, open the brace, give the style, close the brace. That is nothing but that will become HTML selectors. Okay, so once you see the definition here, the most common and easy to understand selectors are HTML selectors, right? HTML selector will select any HTML element on a page that matches the selector regardless of the position in the document. See here, I have given a P. So here P is nothing but the paragraph. What property I have given? Color. What color I have given? Blue. So here P is a HTML tag. So this will come under HTML selectors. So when you execute this code, in the entire HTML document, wherever paragraph tag is there, that tag content will be changed into a blue color. That is your second point in the definition. HTML selector will select any HTML element on a page that matches the selector. So whatever selector you have given in the CSS code, that selector will search in the body section of HTML tag. So if it is matching, that tag content will be changed into a given property. Okay. Now, the second one is class selector. See, in a HTML selector, we have advantage. See, if I have given a color to a paragraph, in the body section, wherever paragraph tag is there, that will be changed into a given property. But example, few paragraphs I want to give in a blue color, and a few paragraphs I want to give a red color. So it is not possible using HTML selector. Why it is not possible? Because when you give the selector in a CSS code, just it will match the, if it is HTML selector, just it will match the tags wherever selector is matching. If it is matching, automatically it will change the property. But it won't search first few tags for one property and the second few tags for another property. So that is the disadvantages in HTML selector. that you can overcome by using a class selector. In a class selector, what we do is we'll create a one class, and that class contains some styles, means it's number of styles. To whichever element you want that style, okay, to whichever element you want to give that style, just you need to apply this class to that select, that HTML tag, that is the class select. Okay, so in the HTML selector, for one particular tag only we have given the styles. Paragraph means whatever styles you have given, that will be applicable for only paragraph. But more than one element, if you want to give the common property, that is not possible by using HTML selector, because HTML selectors are created for only one particular tag. But if more than one tag, if you want to give the common property, then you can use the class selector. So here we'll create a class. That class contains different properties. To whichever element you want that properties, just we'll add the class. We won't add the styles, we'll add the class, and class is a collection of the styles. So automatically whatever properties, whatever styles you have given in that class, that will be applicable to that element. Okay. So here definition I have given. HTML selectors target every instance of an element. It can be used to select any HTML element that has a class attribute, regardless of the position in the document. Okay. See here one example I have given. .big. Actually it is a syntax. If you are creating any class, if you are creating a class selector, that should start with the dot. Next, big is the name of the class. Okay, big is the name of the class. Font size you have given, font weight you have given. So that are properties. Okay, so here few syntactical errors are there, that in practical part I will explain. Font dash size it should be, and after the percentile there should be semicolon. Font dash weight. Okay, so here only the thing is whatever is there between this braces, that are called as a properties, and a .big is there, no? That is the name of the class. And before that class I have not given any HTML element. If you will give any HTML element, this class should use for only that particular element. But if you have created selector without any HTML element, then you can give that styles to any HTML tag, you won't get any error. Okay, now you see .big I have created one class, no? That class now I have given to paragraph element. Okay, like this you can give that to H1, you can give H2, you can give, because I have not created this class for any particular element. It is called as anonymous. Anyone can use this. Okay, so here syntax is very important. If you are creating a class, that class should start with dot, name of the class, and in the braces properties will give, right? And while using, to whichever element you want to use this property, in that particular element in the opening tag you give the class attribute equals to name of the class. In this example you can see P class equals to big. Okay, class equals to big means in the big class whatever properties you have given, that will be applicable to this big. Okay, this is about class selector. Okay, so like this here I have created few classes. Okay, I have created classes for the division, I have created classes for a table data. Okay, I have created a class for the form. For different elements I have created a forms. Okay, and after this here actually only one thing you need to remember. In the before .big I have given this is a class. This class I have not created for any tag. So here I have used this class P. Here you can see class equals to big. Okay, here for paragraph I have used. Next here for list item I have used. Next same BIG here I have used for a division also. Okay, so this is a benefit compared to the HTML selector. Okay, for this class I will attach a practical part also. Okay, okay students, now I will explain the practical part of class selector and HTML selector. Theory part already I have completed. Now I will give you the example program which illustrate class selector and HTML selector. So okay, as usual you open Notepad. There you first write a HTML code, because this for this HTML selectors and class selectors you no need to create a CSS file. Directly you can include that code inside your HTML file. When you will come to external style sheet, at that time I will explain how to create a external style sheet file. Okay, so here I am giving HTML code, HTML opening and HTML closing. Inside HTML it is a head tag. Next I am closing a head section, and between a head opening and closing I am including style tag. Style type equals to, style is a tag, type is an attribute, and here that attribute value should be text / and CSS. Okay, now here I am giving a code h1 color red. As already explained, selector and property should be separated by a braces. Whatever property and value you are giving, no, that should be between a opening and a closing braces, and property and value should be separated by a colon, and value should end with the semicolon. Okay, and here in this example h1 is called as a selector, color is called as a property, and red is called as a value. Now just here I am giving properties to only one tag, that is h1 tag, and in the style tag just will give the style information only. But where will give the content? Inside the head section will give the content. Okay, so here you close the style tag. So whatever CSS code you want to include in HTML code, that should be between a style opening and closing. So when you close the style tag, whatever properties you want to give using the CSS, that will end. So you try to remember one point, whatever CSS code you are including, that should be between a style opening and closing. This is one method. You have more two methods. There I will explain how to give a CSS in a different ways. Okay, so here only for h1 tag I have given the properties, and where is the h1 content? In the body section I will give the h1 content. So body tag and close, immediately I am closing, so that it will be correct syntax. It should be syntactical, right? So in a style opening and closing I have given some properties to the h1. So that h1 content I will give inside the head section. h1 here I am giving a third BSc. Okay, so example, this is your content which is to be displayed on the browser window. Now I am closing h1. We'll see what how you will get an output. Here I am saving this. Location is desktop, and here I am giving a file name as some a34.html, because this is HTML file only. Inside the HTML file I am including the CSS code. So you try to give the file format as .html only, and you try to make it save as type as all files. Because if it is only text file, if you include any other media like images, audio and video, it won't accept. Okay, saving. And after saving this, what is the name of the file? A34, right? Just you click on this. Here you can see the output. Third BSc is the head section content. See, third BSc, and just a minute. See, here you can see in the h1 tag what I have given third BSc. That is displayed on the browser window. But in the body section I have not given any property. Any style information I have not given. Where I have given a style information? In the style tag I have given, right? So here in between a style opening and closing, whatever properties you have given for h1, that will be applicable to the h1 tag which is there in the body section. So this is called as a HTML selector. In this type of selector, what happened is, in the style tag you have given selector, no, that selector browser will search in the body section. Wherever it finds that selector, whatever properties you have given in braces, that will be applicable to that content. Okay, so this is a procedure when you are using a HTML selector. Okay, whatever type, whatever selector it may be, but this syntax is there, no, that will be similar. It won't change. It may be a HTML selector, it may be a class selector, it may be ID selector, whatever selector it may be. Whatever syntax is there, property value should be separated by colon and value should end with the semicolon, and this is a selector. So here we are using what you are using as a selector, you are using h1 tag as a selector. So when you are using h1 HTML tag as a selector, this is called as a HTML selector. Okay, so this is about HTML selector, and remember one point, if you have given h1 in the style tag, that same tag should be there in the body section. If you won't use h1 and if you are using h2, h4, whatever properties you have given in the style tag, that won't be applied. Okay, so this is a style selector. After this, I'll explain the class selector. Now the next type of selector is class selector. So in a class selector, what happened is, here we want to create a property for any tag. Instead of HTML tags, here what we'll create is, we'll create anonymous selector. Means anonymous selector means that selector you can apply to any tag. Okay, so that is called as a class selector. So as already explained in the theory part, class selector starts with the dot, name of the class. Like AB is the name of the class, and it is a user wish, user identifier. User can give any name. You can give A1, B1, C1. It doesn't matter. But it should start with the dot. Okay, and immediately you should give the class name. Okay. So it should start with the dot, and whatever properties you have given, that should be between these braces. Now, how to use this? See, if it is a HTML selector, directly we used, right? But if you are using a class selector, then that class should be given as an attribute in an opening tag where you are including that. See, dot AB I have created. I want to use that properties to the h1. Then here I am giving class equals to h1. Not h1, it is AB, right? Or class name is AB. So what happened? Whatever properties you have mentioned in the AB, that is applied to the content. Okay, save it. Come to browser window. Again, we'll execute the same program. I'm closing this and I'm executing that program once again. See, third place. Right. So here, example, I have created I have used this class for h1, but I don't want to use this for a h1. I want to use for h2. Then this is h2. Save it. Come to browser window. Refresh this. This is h2. So here, this whatever selector you have created, no, that is not for a particular element. You can use this class to any element. Suppose if you want to use this property to the paragraph also, you can use a paragraph. Okay, this selector is not created for any one particular element. It is a open. You can use this selector to any element. Okay, so this is a class selector. What disadvantages you have in HTML selector? In HTML selector, if you have created HTML selector, what it means, only for one particular element that properties will be applicable. Example, if you have created a select HTML selector for h1, if you have given properties to the h1, then what happened in the body section, wherever you have h1, only for that element whatever properties you have given, that will be applicable. If same property if you want to use for another element, again you have to write. Okay, and one more thing is the example, if you have given properties to the h1, few h1 tags if you want to give a green color and few h1 if you want to give a red color, that is not possible by using a HTML selector. if you have given any property using HTML selector, wherever that element is there in the body section, that will be changed into a given property. Okay, so that disadvantage you have in a HTML selector, that you can overcome by using a class selector. Okay, so this is about HTML selector and the class selector. Only two selectors I have explained. The remaining selectors I will explain in the next class. Thank you.